called Invisible Sue. The movie begins with Sue, short for Suzanne, daydreaming about her favorite superhero character in a comic book, Supermoon. She snaps back into reality and realizes the class has been emptied, then makes her way out. She regards herself as being invisible in school as she is always ignored by the popular kids. She is picked up by her dad, Christoph, who plans to take her to her mother's lab to give her a birthday surprise. She wants to prove to her mother that she is not invisible to her too, although her mother, Maria, is too deeply involved in her work that she seldom cares about her own daughter. Maria is about to give a speech at a scientific event hosted by Dr. Drill while Sue and Christoph prepare for her birthday surprise at her lab. Unfortunately, the birthday candle Christoph lit sets off the fire alarm, causing Maria and her team to check on it. She is furious knowing Sue and Christoph ruined her important day. Sue is really disappointed as her effort to catch her mother's attention turns out to be a failure, thus she throws the birthday cake out of anger. The cake hits a machine then causes instability in the lab. Sue panics and tries to push random buttons to make everything go back to normal, but the temperature instability only gets worse. She hears a robotic voice but does not really care what it says. She goes to check on the reactor, but it is too unstable that the lab activates a lockdown mechanism, so she is trapped inside. Then an explosion happens. Fortunately, Sue survives with just minor injuries, and she goes home with her father. On the way home, she notices a blue glow emitting from her wound, but does not say anything. The next morning, Sue wakes up to her left limb disappearing, causing her to vomit out of shock. She goes to the school as usual, parting with Christoph, who will be working abroad for some time, and is checking her locker when a nice guy approaches her. His name is Tobias and he is also interested in Supermoon comics, but they are interrupted by Eileen and her friends, Sue's bullies. When Eileen is talking to Tobias, Sue disappears again and heads to the restroom. She washes her hands and scares a girl who thinks the restroom is haunted. Slowly, she starts reappearing again after cooling her hands with running water. Still puzzled by her current condition, she goes to her mother at the lab. Maria is surprised and aims to run tests on her, but Sue dismisses her, saying how ignorant her mother can be when her daughter is only seen as a scientific experiment. She knows that her breakthrough experiment aimed to provide ultimate health for humans, called NT-26D, is infused with Sue's blood during the explosion and develops her ability to become invisible. The ability is only triggered by hot temperatures and only lasts as long as Sue is exposed to warm surfaces. She advises Sue to stay at home until she can figure out something to do with her, but Sue refuses and leaves for school. At school, she meets Tobias again, who awkwardly asks her to go hang out somewhere. However, Eileen and her gang interrupt them again, saying to Tobias that he is too cool to hang out with Sue. Eileen then receives a call with a very weird ringtone. She runs out of embarrassment. Turns out the prank is caused by Kaya, also called App, a weird robotic club girl at the school. After school, Sue sits at her mom's lab while Maria and Linnea, another scientist, conduct experiments on her condition. They discover that everything Sue touches also disappears when she is disappearing, as demonstrated by Sue touching Linnea. When becoming invisible, Linnea feels powerful and that inspires her. Maria grows terrified of the condition that her daughter's condition can be unsafe or that her experiment can be used for evil purposes, so she plans to delete the experiments. Sue is against that and she leaves with disappointment. She goes to the school's basement and takes a nap there, and is surprised to see that App can see her. Sue grows really tired and can quickly fall asleep as she is exhausted from keeping herself invisible. They eat at the nearby diner and Sue is trying to tell App of her weird condition when Eileen enters the room and is about to make fun of them again. Sue sees that opportunity to demonstrate her invisibility and attacks Eileen instead, which surprises App. Meanwhile, Dr. Drill sees the footage of Maria and Linnea examining invisible Sue at the lab. When Maria and Sue arrive home, Maria is about to pick sleepy Sue up when she is kidnapped by unknown men. Sue is still groggy when she hears her mother screaming and instructing her to find Alfred in the red mask. Now aware of her surroundings, Sue quickly turns herself invisible so the men cannot find her. She calls Christoph but he is busy, then quickly gets out of her house. She meets Toby, showing off his bicycle skills, and asks him to help her. He encourages her to be brave despite her weird abilities, just like the Supermoon character. The following morning, Sue, accompanied by Toby, goes back to her mother's car to retrieve her laptop that might help her find more information about Alfred and her mother's captors. She receives a mysterious call, telling her to get in the car's trunk as fast as possible. Although hesitant, she and Toby follow the instruction. Then they hear Dr. Drill's men's voices searching the room and driving the car somewhere. When the trunk is opened from the outside, they discover it is App, defeating the guards with her tech abilities. Sue tells them that Dr. Drill may hold her mother hostage and that she needs to get into his facility to save her. She takes Toby with her, making both of them invisible. They do not find Maria, but Toby retrieves a cell phone left on the floor, which seems to belong to Maria. Dr. Drill and his men almost catch them, but luckily, they escape. App takes them to her quirky aunt's house, Aunt Lore, who demands to see Sue in private. Turns out, she recognizes Maria as they were once partners and she already warned her about the danger of her experiment, but she would not listen. App examines videos from Maria's phone to find she recorded herself running and getting attacked, then the phone fell off until Toby found it. Alfred turns out to be an AI device who is Maria's assistant, found inside Maria's bag. Through Alfred's holographic projection, they discover that the NT-26D cannot react to anyone except Sue's blood and that Maria has tried to find an antidote but fails. They deduce that Dr. Drill is actually after Sue, not her mother, because Sue holds the key to NT-26D's success. To keep her safe, Sue switched beds with Toby so that her captors would be fooled. They almost catch Toby but then realizes it is not Sue and quickly leave, leaving behind a syringe which Toby finds when he wakes up. In the morning, App presents a new suit for Invisible Sue, which can help Sue control her abilities and stay awake. Sue then receives a call from Maria, seemingly escaping from an abandoned facility, and tells her to meet in the old market by the fountain in an hour. In the market, the three children sense something is not quite right when they find that Dr. Drill's men approach them. They deduce that they have been lured into a trap and escape by stealing a pizza delivery bike. Unbeknownst to them, Linnea follows them in a car. They follow Alfred's signal to Maria's last known location in an abandoned factory. However, Toby is not sure of their plan and becomes hesitant to continue. He argues with Sue mocking him for being afraid and that he will be better off at the Halloween party with Eileen and the gang. Disappointed, Toby leaves. App and Sue are then cornered by surveillance drones, so they hide somewhere until nightfall. Then they plan to escape by distracting Drill and his men by throwing an NT-26D that will explode. After the explosion, Sue falls unconscious and wakes up next to his mother, reading her comic book. She asks her how her friends are doing, to which she replies that App is still at the abandoned factory, waiting for her, while Toby is at the Halloween party. Her mother leaves, but then Sue realizes she is locked up in her own room and cannot escape even through the window. Turns out her mother is Linnea in disguise, who injects herself with Sue's blood when she is still unconscious to obtain her own superpowers, shown by Alfred's footage which Sue later learns from. Meanwhile, the real Maria picks up App from the abandoned factory then retrieves her daughter. Although Sue is hesitant, Maria proves she is real by activating Alfred, as only members of the Hartman family can activate the AI. They then go to the Halloween party to rescue Toby, as they know Linnea is after him to erase witnesses. Along the way, Maria gives Sue the antidote for her invisibility as she promised, but Sue is now hesitant to use it as she thinks she does not need to be cured. Although Maria does not ask to, Sue plans to inject the antidote into Linnea to defeat her. At the party, Eileen is dancing with Toby but then goes to get more drinks and scolds one of her friends, an unlikely behavior. Sue deduces that Linnea disguises herself as Eileen and the real Eileen is hidden somewhere. She orders App to produce fog effects to confuse Linnea so she can bring Toby to safety. She then injects Linnea with the antidote after offering Toby her apology. The three bring unconscious Linnea to the rooftop, where they are surprisingly met by Aunt Lore. Turns out she is the real mastermind behind it all, wanting the NT-26D inside Sue's veins for herself. She is the one who Linnea works for and also orders the men to kidnap Sue's parents. Sue takes a brave step by injecting herself with the antidote so NT-26D will be useless and Aunt Lore cannot use it, then plants one of App's devices in Aunt Lore's wheelchair, causing it to move and spin uncontrollably. As Aunt Lore is defeated, Sue embraces her family and friends before falling asleep due to heavy exhaustion. She wakes up next to her parents and is being well taken care of in App's luxurious mansion. Sue, App, and Toby then realize the antidote may not be very effective and continue their adventure by being invisible together.